Hi everybody, my name is Kiara and today I want to talk to you about aerial yoga, what the practice of aerial yoga is and why you should try it out. So, aerial yoga is a practice much like yoga, except instead of doing it on the floor, you're doing it in a hammock. Now the hammock is suspended by the ceiling or by the rigging points, and you can use that hammock to do so many different things. You can use it to stretch, you can use it to exercise, you can use it to make beautiful shapes with the body, you can use it to find freedom. A lot of people use it to find a decompression of the low back. A lot of those inversions are really great for that. So there are a lot of reasons to practice aerial, and I would love to go over some of them with you. So the first thing that I absolutely love about aerial yoga is how amazingly freeing it is. It is such an amazing practice in the way that you can really have so much creativity and versatility with it. I'm able to drop a lot of my mental chatter, and when I get into the hammock, it just is feeling and it just is experience. And that's why it's yoga, because you're one with the moment, you're one in the hammock. So I get to really just turn off my brain for a moment and really start to kind of just be and just to feel into certain things and let my body do amazing things that I've been training it to do for years. I love aerial yoga because it just can make me feel like myself. It makes me experience me. And when I'm in the hammock, I'm able to let go and just to be able to experience the moment, where I am, what I'm doing. So beyond that, it's a fun thing. It's really great for exercise. You'll develop a lot of core strength by doing aerial yoga. You'll develop excellent grip strength and arm and back strength. It's very much an upper body thing. Do you need upper body in order to do aerial? No, you don't. Why? Because you will cultivate it on your journey. I started out doing aerial yoga, never having exercised in my entire life. I did sports when I was a kid, but I never really did anything that was like exercise related until I found aerial yoga. And that journey of finding something fun that I actually wanted to do brought me to a place where I really wanted to experiment and start to find myself working out and find myself, using the hammock as that sort of way to find physical fitness. Something important that I learned from aerial that's very subtle, and I don't know if anyone has experienced this with exercise, but I feel like this is sort of like a mentality that we find when we're exercising, is that it helps me to set goals and then make a plan to meet them. So if I have like a pose that I'm like, I really want to meet this pose where it's at, sometimes I don't get it at the first shot, and sometimes it takes me a long time to get it. I think one of my favorite poses, it's called bomber pose in anti-gravity. That pose took me 3 months to get because I didn't have the core strength. I didn't have the arm strength. I didn't have the things that I needed in order to get that pose. But now I can do a lot of crazy things that set from that like foundational strength, and has brought me to the place of being able to do flips and being able to hold myself up when I'm upside down. It's really a beautiful way to kind of see where you are, and it also kind of gives you that mentality that you can't just get everything for free. You have to put the work in, you have to get in there and just give your all to the practice in order to get somewhere with it. One of the most amazing experiences that I have seen in this practice is like when someone can't get something and then they work towards it and then they get it. It just feels so incredibly good, and I just look at them like a proud soccer mom. It's like, yes, you did it, but that's just me. Also, when you're not able to get a move right away, it teaches you to love yourself where you're at, and this one's a little harder because there were times where I was like, I am not good enough. I can't do this move. In the beginning of my practice and like in the middle of my practice, I found myself like struggling to really get to bring myself to a level of fitness, bring myself to a level of flexibility, and I worked and I worked and I worked so hard on it. But the thing that I really learned was that I have to love myself where I'm at. I have to understand that it's all in the journey, and that one day I will get to the place where I am. It's important to take care of the body where you are, here and now, and that is that. So the practice of aerial doesn't have to just be activeness. It has an innate ability to allow people to surrender. Now, going upside down is one of those really big surrender points for me, because it just kind of is very supportive and it holds you there and lets you dangle towards the earth, and that in itself is so amazingly powerful. I'm the type of person who has a really hard time surrendering and letting go, but the practice of aerial has really taught me, I'm not 100% there yet, but I'm getting there, to let go and to just surrender to life and circumstances and all that. And I think that that message is very important, especially in 2020. There's a lot of opportunities for us to relax in the hammock and use it as a meditation tool as well. There are so many different poses that we can like find a seated position in and just take a moment to close our eyes. Floating meditations are just so rich and just wonderful. And I highly recommend, if you're just an active, like very active kind of practitioner, take your hammock out and meditate in it. Just sit in it for a little bit, lay in it for a little bit, read a book in your hammock. It's just absolutely so lovely to just take that sort of spectrum of activity from meditation to active and play with it. So like I said before, it beckons you to be better. It beckons you to try harder. It beckons you to find a sense of play. And I think that that is what we forget as we get older, is like that sense of play. And the sense of play is so important. A sense of play will help to keep your mind young, and aerial yoga hammock helps you to definitely invoke that sense of play. I'm constantly finding new things to do. I'm trying new moves. There's a beautiful community, and I'll get into that later, that has tons of moves online that you can like see and emulate. I have a bunch of videos in my Patreon, in my YouTube, and in my Instagram that help people to progress deeper into their practice. So that's just something to keep in mind. The community is absolutely wonderful. I've met so many wonderful people through aerial yoga. I have created a tribe of people that I can talk to, and it just feels really, really, really good to be able to connect with people through something that is so uplifting and bright and airy, you know. And the people in the aerial yoga community are usually very kind. They're usually very nice, and they're usually very approachable. And, you know, that's not everyone, of course, because not everyone's like that. You're always going to get people who are nasty, but I feel like the aerialist community is usually filled with kind people. I'm definitely one of those people. Hi. And finally, it's beautiful as an art form. So like I said before, like creating shapes is just absolutely spectacular. You can do such crazy, amazing, beautiful things with your body and just show this big community, this big world, like what it is that your heart is expressing and how you're feeling, and how can you put that emotion to a movement. How can you take your thoughts and your feelings and just put it into something physical and tangible. This art is very, very special. Thank you for watching. I hope that this has inspired you to maybe give aerial a shot, maybe to ask some questions, maybe to find a local studio near you, maybe to buy a rig and start to learn. I have a lot of content on my Patreon that will help you to start your practice. If you're interested, please click the link. It's in my bio. If you're interested, you want to try it, you want to learn more about it. I'm always open to answering questions as well. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!